Good evening. My name is Tylane, and this is Tylane Ducksworth Reviews. I'm coming to you Brit Eady's interview that she did with Access Hollywood. I believe it's called Housewives Nightcap. And this is a follow-up to all the drama that we all seen on season 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 5, the blow up between her and Kenya. Well, actually, the attack on Kenya. I am going to watch the video with you guys, and then I will pause every little bit and give you guys my commentary. So thank you guys for chilling with me. We all have been wondering what Britt had to say, being that Portia was down on her YouTube channel because she didn't create it, spilling the tea and something about another reality star. I believe the girl plays on Basketball Wives, Ming Lee. Kenya came out and debunked what she said. She had mentioned something about that Britt got the majority of the porn photos are from Ming Lee because her and Ming Lee have some kind of beef over a man. They dated the same guy, and Kenya is friends with Ming Lee. I believe on Twitter or Instagram, Kenya posted that was cap basically. So let's see what Miss Brit Eady got to say. Alrighty, here we go.
I did something that I wish I could take back, but what she did was a million times worse. So there's no way you could go around and play the victim now.
So this is your first season, of course, as a housewife. Was it what you were expecting it to be? I know that's kind of a loaded question, but we're going to start there.
Loaded. You know what? I feel like this has been a interesting first season. It was definitely some things that I did not expect to happen. But outside of that, I had a great season outside of that. I knew there was going to be some challenges and just some difficult moments, but I've tried to push through the best that I could. I did some things myself that, of course, I'm going to take accountability for that I shouldn't have done. But outside of that, I really had an opportunity to really get to know the ladies. We had some good times. We had fun. We cried. We laughed. And we were at each other's throats as well. So we got a little bit of everything.
Then they kept sending me information. That's some nasty work.
Oh my! Ain't nobody trying to see this girl sucking nobody's dick. That is just so crazy.
You left before this went down. So what was your reaction when you found out what happened?
I couldn't believe it because I came in there wanting to be apologetic and give her flowers. And I gave her a nice card where I wanted her to read it. And I left. And just to know that everybody started screaming and I heard the commotion of everybody running out of the door. And I'm like, what's happening? And Kelli was just like, you'll never believe this woman put poster boards of the most nastiest, vile things ever. She came from my marriage. She called me all types of very nasty names. And she showed explicit photos. This was your big moment. So for her to use this big moment to attack and to humiliate me, I couldn't believe it. I was in bed for days. I cried. I had to talk to a few, I had to go to therapy. And just knowing that the internet, the world, my reputation, I'm a businesswoman. So seeing all these things online, it overshadowed everything. And I couldn't believe it.
Have you talked to Kenya since?
She has not reached out to me. Actually, she blocked me. So I would have thought at the very least, she would have shown some remorse, or at least, even if it wasn't a public apology to me, I thought she would have at least reached out just to show that she's sorry. And I haven't received anything.
If you could talk to her, what would you say? What would, on your side of things? Because you said you were remorseful about bringing up the pistol of it all and all that.
I should have never done that. And I make mistakes. I was in a moment. I was triggered. And I did something that I wish I could.
I'm going to stop you there. Look, I'm going to have to be honest. I don't like this young lady at all. I don't like this girl. She comes across as very manipulative and just not being truthful. So my issue is you're talking out of two sides of your mouth. So you're saying that you had a moment and that you made some mistakes, but you are not being specific as to what you did in the situation. You're not saying and being honest that you initiated this. And also saying, yes, I made a mistake, and oh, Kenya blocked you. What did you expect? If I had popped off on somebody like that, I would know that it would not be okay. If I hadn't spoke to them prior to their event, hashed things out with them, then I would know that it would not be okay for me to just pop up at their event with flowers in a card and thinking that everything is just going to be all hunky-dory and everything is going to be okay. First of all. So for me, I don't believe that it was genuine. I believe you did it to keep your job, and you did it to play up for the cameras and to keep your job. That's why you did it. And obviously Kenya didn't believe that it was genuine. And with her saying that she had time to speak with the producers and they didn't make her feel protected. So more than likely, that's probably why I would say, from what I'm seeing, I believe that Kenya would have exposed you regardless. But I don't believe that it would have been done in this manner, her event, and with those photos like that, if she had felt protected. Kenya has a past from things that happened with her mom. We all know Kenya's background and Kenya's history. So I don't believe that she felt protected. And that's why she went this far. That doesn't excuse what she did, because I believe what Kenya did was dead ass wrong, especially at her event. But let's go ahead and finish listening to what she's saying.
I could take back. But
Oh,
what she did was
girl.
a million times worse.
Internet.
So there's no way you can go around and play the victim now. And I would think that if we want to move forward, come to me, apologize, humble yourself, and I would be open.
Sorry. And see, that's another thing. That's why I don't like you. See, that part there, that's the manipulation and the she wants Kenya to come to her and grovel and apologize and humble yourself. Girl, if you don't get the hell up out of here with this foolishness.
But that has not taken place. So I'm just disappointed how she's been handling it and being a victim. And it's just been a lot of noise. And that's why I've been quiet, because sometimes you just have to wait it out and see what people naturally do. And I'm just disappointed in her behavior. And even just, she went on different shows. I apologize, but I'm the one that's owed the apology. Not
sorry. And technically, you could say that she was victimized, because she was victimized by you, and then she was not supportive because she's the one that's off the show. So you were able to threaten her, even though you didn't tell her, I'm going to do this to you. You basically said, what did she say before she was getting ready to leave out of the building when they were headed outside of the bank? I believe she said something on the lines, allegedly. That's why I keep my pistol regardless, or something like that she said. So the whole thing is that you initiated this. That's the whole thing. You're taking no accountability in your part. You just keep using the buzzwords of, oh, I had a moment. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, she triggered me. What did Kenya do to trigger you? Because you kicked all of this off. You made threats towards her, and then you went around on this apology tour to Shamia, to Portia, to Angela, to Kelli. But you didn't take the time to go to Kenya and apologize to her and resolve things before you showed up at her event. Girl, what?
everyone else. And the things that she said, it's there forever. And I have to live with that, with my family, with my husband, with my career. I think at the very least, I'm owed an apology.
It's no secret then that she left the show. So how did that change for you going forward? How did the dynamic shift?
Well, I was a little disappointed in some of the ladies, and I thought they would have my back more. I thought they would be more supportive. And I just feel that because she has been around for so long, I think nobody wanted to just step on any toes or just not have her back. And wrong is wrong. And a lot of these beautiful women, they have a family. And I'm just like, how would you feel if you were put in the situation that I was put in? And that's when I'm just like, let's use logic. Nobody would want to go through what I experienced. And I'm so grateful that I was not in that room when that happened, because that would have been a moment where she was looking to trigger me and she was looking for me to act out. She was not threatened by me, because you don't do something like that if you're threatened. So for her to do that, it was all premeditated. She was never interested in making things right. She wanted to embarrass me. She wanted to humiliate me. And I'm just,
Wait a minute. She was never interested in making things right for what? This imaginary beef that you created in your head? Prior to Kenya Moore hair care event, Kenya hadn't done anything to you but compliment you. I went back and I looked at episode 1, 2, and 3. She called you beautiful. I believe she called you Barmaid Barbie. She gave you a hug. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't the way that you wanted. After you followed her around, I believe in episode 1, complaining about she didn't give you the hug that you wanted. Then you continue to be obsessed with her. Episode 2 and 3. And then in 4, because she didn't want to get makeup on herself. No, you gave me a pee pat. Girl, something is wrong with this girl. I'm sorry. I feel like that Britt Eady is a very violent person. And she come off as the type of woman back, when in high school that dated the drug dealer. That's how she come across. And she appears to be very, very violent. And I won't say nothing bad about it, but that husband of hers is he looked like he crazy behind the eyes. I'm sorry, allegedly. Like, this chick.
this was her big moment. So why would you do this at your big moment for someone that you're threatened by? Why?
Did some of the other
Condescending.
ladies though rally around you? Because I know in that
You know what,
moment,
Kelly?
Why?
Kelly
Okay.
reached, she left. All the ladies were disappointed. A couple of them stood back, maybe Drew, and I think Angela. No, she did come, but they knew it was wrong. But I felt that they still wanted to support her, and that's what I didn't. Sometimes you have to stand on business and say, this isn't right, and hold.
Hold on. They can stand on business and still support her. Just what if Shamil would have slammed her door in your face when you showed up at her house when Angela was there? When you came through the door all disheveled with no makeup on and your hair all over your head, talking about you hadn't slept the night before. So she's saying she wanted them to be high school. She wanted them to shun her and not talk to her. Not just tell her verbally that they felt like what she did was wrong and that she went too far. But she also wanted them to cut off contact to make her feel even worse. Baby, this girl is cold-blooded and a piece of work. Y'all can sit here and buy these tattoo tears. She ain't crying right now. But them tears she had in the other episode. Girl, bye.
Hold your friends accountable. If someone is really, truly your friend, they're going to tell you when you're wrong. Not sugarcoat it, not pretend like it's okay or she deserved it. No, wrong is wrong. And that's why I was disappointed with some of the ladies that they were just like, well, no, couldn't imagine.
And they can tell her that, excuse me, y'all, I'm so sorry from keep pausing there. And they can tell her that without shunning her and without cutting her off. They can let her know that what she did was wrong, and they can stand on business and let her know that. But that don't mean that they have to disassociate themselves from her. She's a kid to teach her a lesson. Girl, what the hell? Kenya is an OG and has been knowing most of the ladies on this show, I would say, for at least the last 5 to 10 years. So what are we talking about? And her and Kenya are Kenya and Cynthia are friends outside of the show. And Cynthia was mortified. And you can tell that she was very hurt and disappointed that Kenya allowed herself to stoop that low to get back at you for what you did. But that just shows how hurt that Kenya was and how unprotected she felt. And again, that's no excuse. But I always say, you cannot slap somebody and then tell them how to react to you slapping the hell out of you. You can't turn around and tell a person how to react when you do wrong to them. Like, girl, you threaten this woman, regardless of the fact that everybody's trying to play semantics and act like, oh, well, she didn't say it directly to her. If I'm in an argument with somebody and I'm like, you gonna learn today, you gonna respect me, and then go into talking about that I have a firearm, who the hell you think I'm talking to?
Being put in that position. And that's why I was just a little hurt by the ladies. And it was a very emotional time for me when I needed everyone's support. And I'm grateful that in that time, Kelli was there for me. Cynthia had my back. Portia, which was a friend of, well, still a friend of Kenya, she came there and was just like, I couldn't do this. And it's an unfortunate situation. And I'm so glad that I wasn't there because she wanted to potentially take this opportunity from me. And she was like, see, you should be gone. And I feel like we're all here to support each other's businesses, to be a sisterhood. And it was disgusting.
You brought up Kelli and how she was supporting you, but I found it interesting, her recent Instagram post. I don't know if you saw it,
I saw it.
but she posted.
Sorry, before we go into the next part here, I just want to say this. And I'm not trying to offend anybody, and I hope this isn't taken the wrong way. But there are millions and millions upon women across the world. And if that's what you do, own it. If you did sex work, own it and say what you did. Another thing I was always taught, it's better to go ahead and put all your tea out there so that way can't nobody pour your tea on you. But I'm saying it's best to spill your own tea. So instead of you coming on here with this fake storyline and trying to use Kenya for a storyline, maybe you should have tried coming on and talking about your past sex work and what you were going through. Did you fall upon hard times? And this is what I had to do. I had to get it out the mud and I had to get it how I live. Then just say that. But also, as I was saying, back to my point, there are millions of women in the world. And there's nothing wrong with sex work. We got to do. Okay? But you saying that the images were scrubbed. We all know nothing is ever completely off the internet. But also the fact you're saying now that it's so disgusting. It wasn't disgusting when you did it. And there are millions of women in this world, but not all of us have pornographic images floating around on the internet. Miss Ma'am, Miss Mamas. So no, own your shit and stand in it and say, I was going through some things, if that's what the scenario was, and I did what I had to do, or I had to put myself through college, or whatever the case may be. But don't get up here now and try to act like you above this, that this is something that's just so. She act like Kenya found these pictures. It was a cell phone of her and her boyfriend that had some intimate photos, and Kenya stole the phone and put the images on the internet. No, that's not what happened. Those pictures were already on the internet, which means that's another thing. I checked into it. By law, that is not considered revenge porn because those images were on the internet. It's not like Kenya stole that footage or stole those images from anywhere. Like I said, what she did was not cool. That was some downright, in the words of Iyanla Van Zant, that was some old gutter snipe behavior. But those images were on the internet. She didn't steal them and put them out, ma'am. And obviously, you left some dust when you allegedly, you say, had the images scrubbed off the internet. Ma'am, nothing is never completely off the internet. We all know that. And if you did have it scrubbed, somebody left some particles. Thank you, ma'am.
Photos from that night, including one with Kenya, and then a meme that said defending somebody and then experiencing why nobody likes them is so humbling. What is
what's crazy about that? And you guys are going to watch it unfold on the show. There's a lot of things that happen that people aren't going to expect from Kelli. She's going to really show a side that nobody saw coming. And I was very disappointed in just seeing her flip-flop. So it's one thing if we're not friends and you could feel however you feel, but to go back on your word and to say what Kenya did wasn't wrong, that's just flip-flopping. So just because you don't like me right now does not make what she did right. And I just think Kelli just wanted to insert herself because it is what it is. Sometimes she has to be the center of attention. And it's just unfortunate.
Wait a minute, girl. Hell no. Sound like you projecting. Oh, Kelli wanted to be the center of attention. Is that what it is? Maybe what it is that after being on the show with you, Kelli found out that you're not exactly who she thought you were. And after getting to know you more on the show, we realize that you are a liar and that you are very manipulative. Sorry about that. And that you are very manipulative. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. And now she blaming Kelli. It's everybody else's fault except for hers. Kelli can be cool with Kenya. She could be cool with you. But obviously you did something that we will find out. Or maybe not. We'll find out what happens. I'm not going to say that she's wrong or you wrong at this point because we have not seen it yet. So I'll just say as of now that we will find out and we'll see what happens.
That something that was so nasty and vile, now she's in support of. And it's no secret that Kenya isn't here. So how are you still supporting this woman? And you went to war for me during this situation. So if you went to war for me, how can you go back on what she did? Because her actions didn't change. It's just we're no longer friends.
And why are you guys no longer friends? Solely because of this reason? Or were there other things that came into play?
This has nothing to do with it. But you guys are going to see further in the season what unravels between Kelli and I, because we came in as a nice duo.
Right.
And just my relationship with Kelli, I met her through a mutual friend. And she was very warm. She wanted to do a lot of things together. And I trusted her. I supported her. I was there for her. And just to see how things unfolded, I was just very disappointed in her. But at the end of the day, I still don't have any ill will towards Kelli. I wish her the best. She's not really a great friend.
I'm surprised.
Some of the things that you do to somebody that you really love and care about. So I'll just say that.
And
but you guys will see later in the season.
The way that
she's not a great friend, but she brought you over food and IV therapy while you were in the house, not leaving home, and so distraught that Kenya humiliated you, in your words, by putting those photos on those poster boards. I don't like this girl.
This season, I know it's your life. It's just so good, though. There's so much drama. There's so many layers. I'm shocked right now by hearing that you and Kelli.
You know what? I was very shocked about what took place with Kelli because I'm someone who I don't open up to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who pours into people that I love and care about. And I felt that I was manipulated. Wow. And I have so many mixed feelings about Kelli, but to the core, I really loved Kelli.
Do you think you guys could get back to a better?
I hope so.
So it's not like a thing.
I am somebody that's forgiving. I am, but she said some hurtful things, and I definitely said some hurtful things back. But the reason why we aren't friends is what I think is going to surprise a lot of the fans. It's unfortunate.
Wow, that was a twist. I was not seeing that coming whatsoever.
But I think she's a great mother.
Yes.
I think that on the outside looking in, she appears to be a great friend to everyone, but it's unfortunate to see her flip-flopping back and forth.
Right. You just said that you're a forgiving person. So now I want to ask, would you forgive Kenya if she genuinely said she was sorry?
You know what? I would have forgive Kenya, but I honestly feel that she's not interested. She feels that what she did was okay, and how she's carrying on like she's the victim. And so for that, I think if things would have played out differently in the aftermath of all this, then I'd be like, you know what? Let's sit down, let's talk, let's move forward. But it's a two-way street. I can't be the only one that wants to move forward when someone secretly wants to just stab you in your back. So I'm disappointed. And I wish things were different because she's a beautiful woman. And I think she had some great things going on. I think we would have made an amazing cast, all of us ladies together. And it's just unfortunate that she did that to herself.
Right.
So
would you film with her again if that was something that came back?
At this moment, today, I would not film with her. But if there was an opportunity for her to grow from this situation genuinely, not just saying what she wants to say for the fans.
I'm going to stop right there. Let's just stop this. First of all, neither one of you are victims. You had, instead of you being forthcoming and putting all your cards on the table so nobody couldn't spray you with your own tea, you chose not to do it, as I said earlier, and you wanted to go with this fake storyline. You wronged and Kenya retaliated. Now, I'm not going to say that she victimized you or that you are the victim, for the simple fact is that, to me, this is just my opinion, and it may not be a popular one. Those pictures were already out there on the internet for all of us to see. So if a viewer decided they didn't like your character, the way you carry yourself on the show, and they wanted to go and dig up dirt on you, the dirt was there to be found. If you were that concerned about it, you would have taken care of that beforehand. Or, like I said, put it out there so nobody could use it against you. And you cannot hit somebody and tell them how to respond. And in my opinion, you are obsessed with Kenya. It's like you wanted the role of the villain, and so you made up this beef in your head that you had to take her out because you wanted to be the only villain. It could have been both of y'all. Y'all could have tag team on the show, but that's not what you wanted. And then on Kenya's part, it could be looked at as, some people may look at the fact that, look at you like you're a victim because you were humiliated and your business was exposed for the world to see. And Kenya is the victim now because she no longer has a job. But I don't think neither of you are victims, because you both made choices, and the choice you made had consequences, and the choice that Kenya made had consequences. So in my book, neither one of you are victims.
But if she was genuinely honest and genuinely interested and making things right, and to humble herself and come to me and apologize and have that real conversation with me, because that's all that matters at the end of the day. It's not what the fans think. It's not what, behind the scenes with production or Bravo. It's not about them. It's about her and I. And she has not made it right. So that would have to happen for me to be open to a relationship with Kenya.
All right, enough of that. Girl, you and Kenya both need to apologize to one another if you're going to make it right. There's always room for growth for you, Kenya, and everybody else. But this is not about growth. This is about the fact that you full of shit. And we will see going forward on the future episodes what happened between her and Kelli. But like I said, as far as I'm concerned, I don't like this girl. I believe that she came on this show with a preconceived notion, Portia said, a preconceived notion about Kenya. And she made up in her mind that Kenya was her enemy. And for whatever reason, she wanted to get Kenya out the way. Or maybe if she didn't want to get Kenya out the way, she thought that she was going to be able to come for the queen like she did. And then she ended up getting read down to the ground. And in the words of Kelli Hill, I think Kenya was swirling, and I think Kenya's still down in hell, and they came back up. Kenya took it all the way to hell. And true enough, what she did was not right. But we're not about to sit here and play this game and act like you so innocent and Kenya just didn't like you from day one, when all Kenya was doing was being kind and nice to you from the first time that she met you. And from the whole ring situation, you blew that up. Anybody would look, because I had to take a double take at your hand and be like, well, that looks like an engagement ring, because it did not have the band on it. So, and people can wear whatever they want to wear. And for a while, I went without having my wedding ring with a band. And then some rings come that way. But that looked like an engagement ring. And everybody that has been watching this show for a long time know when Kenya is being shady. And I genuinely don't think that Kenya was actually being shady in that moment. But like I said, we will see going forward. In my opinion, Britt Eady is a liar. She is manipulative. She's very condescending. And I believe she is trying to milk this for all that it's worth. She's just putting 20 on 10. And that's about it. So thank you guys for chilling with me. If you guys can please give me feedback about this video, because I am new to YouTube. Also, if you can please like, comment, and subscribe, and just tell me what y'all think about it. What's y'all viewpoint of this? How, after listening to Britt Eady, what is you guys' takeaway from this? Alrighty, till next time, and thank you for chilling with Tylane Ducksworth Reviews. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.